Welcome to the Discord Bots for Beginners workshop. My name is Roy Huang. I'm currently a sophomore at the University of Michigan studying computer science. I started doing Discord bots in high school when I taught myself with my friend, and I did this like for fun after learning Python back when I was not that great at coding, but now I'm here to teach all of you. If you guys have any questions at any time, feel free to raise your hand, drop a question in the chat, and if I don't notice you, you can unmute. Okay, so if there are not any questions, I will begin. So today I will be talking about how Discord bots work and how to create your own bot. I will be using Python in this demo. However, there's a bunch of languages, and this should be applicable to most of them. So let's start with, how do Discord bots work? If anyone has used Discord bots before, feel free to give me a reaction. And if you have not, maybe a thumbs down. I will assume that most people have seen Discord bots before, but there's a fair bit of uses for them. You can use it to track stats in your servers, like how many people are messaging. You can use them as tools, such as running commands to, say, delete a lot of messages in your server from, say, spammers or something. Or you can have them do fun things like play text-based games with them, especially online games and multiplayer ones. So how do they work? Bots respond to sent messages, basically. And it's just like any other computer program that relies on text. The bot receives an input and then gives an output in text, mostly. Since Discord is mostly text-based, Discord bots are like any other types of chatbots. For example, Google can consider a chatbot, ChatGPT, or even the computer terminal. And simpler Discord bots are usually just like the terminal on your computer, Windows PowerShell, that kind of thing. Okay, again, today we will be using discord.py, which is a Python library, but there are many languages. The most popular one is actually discord.js in JavaScript, I believe. More popular than the Python one, but since it's a beginner workshop and Python is what I started with, that's what we're doing today. There's also discord.net in C#. There's ones in like Rust, Go, Lua, and you can find more at discord.com/developers/docs topics community resources, which I have the link to and I can send later, but it is also here. Here's a list. There's a lot of Python ones, and I'm not even sure if discord.py is the most popular one. Yeah, so up to you. You can do some searching online. Looks like there's also Java, C++, PHP, Ruby, etc. So let's start looking at discord.py. I will be demonstrating on my computer. You can follow along, but you don't need to, since I will send the meeting notes out at the end of the meeting and you can just read it. It should be pretty easy to see. So let's look at, search up Discord PY for this library. First link should be discord.py. And this is the homepage for the discord.py Python library. Here's a description: modern, easy to use, feature-rich async-ready API wrapper for Discord. Let's go to let's go to, oh, actually, before we start this, uh, I'll explain what API wrapper for Discord means. All of the libraries I mentioned here are API wrappers. What this means is Discord doesn't maintain these libraries. These libraries are wrappers around the Discord API. And these are all maintained by volunteers who want to create these libraries for people like us. So how it works is Discord allows people like us to host our own code, and our bot code will communicate through with Discord through HTTP requests. Basically, our bots on our computers have to send messages over the internet to Discord servers, and these libraries allow you to do those HTTP requests in the language of your choice. So it basically makes it easier for you to code, like basically API wrapper, which describes what it does. These libraries do the networking for you, which lets you focus on what the bot does, like the important part. Okay, let's go back to discord.py. I'll be going through getting started introduction. To install this Python library, do pip install discord.py. Let me do that. Pip install discord.py. And you'll see that I already have it. Sorry. Now let's scroll down. Okay, here's the basic code that discord.py shows, and we can go through it right now. Discord.py revolves around the concept of events, event that you listen to and respond to. The most important one is when a message happens, you receive an event. So let's check this out. This requires your bot to have message content permission so that bots can read messages in servers. So first, import Discord, which we installed through pip or one of the other methods. So class myClient is the discord.py client class, and you'll be writing your code in here mostly. So this is this. And inside the class, there are two main functions, onReady and onMessage. OnReady runs one single time when the bot has connected to Discord and is connected, ready to use. And in this demo, it will print logged in as self.user. There's an F string, so this will expand to whatever that variable is. And then async def on message, self message. Self is just the self as in the class, and so the parameter that matters is message. So this on message function will be called whenever the bot sees someone type a message. So if you're in a Discord channel where your bot has permissions to view, this will be called whenever somebody sends a message in that channel. This also includes DMs, basically anywhere where the bot can see messages. So what this demo does is print f-string message from message.author :message.content. So like if I typed hello, the bot would print in the Python terminal message from me and then hello. Down here is the stuff that, like, this is after the class has been defined. This is the stuff that starts the bot. Intents sets the intents. this kind of stuff. Doesn't really matter for right now. Client equals my client, intents equals intents. So this creates the client in the runtime and then runs with the token. And the token will be a long string of random numbers and letters that the bot uses to connect to Discord and run your bot. Each bot has a unique token. When you create it with Discord, you have to like authorize your bot on Discord, and then they'll give you a token which allows you to run the bot. Okay, let's go back to the homepage. Yeah, under working with Discord, creating a bot account will be what you do at the end to set up, like create your bot on the Discord website. Like make it actually exist within Discord, and then it'll give you your token, and you can invite the bot to servers. So we'll skip that for now. You'll have to come back to this after you write your code, and to test and run your bot, you'll have to create a bot. So this page will show you how. Let's check out the documentation now. So we want to go under API reference. This following section outlines the API of discord.py. This is all of the documentation. It is very long. I'm only at the first one. I'm at the second one. Okay. Woo. Yeah, so this will be where you get your documentation for what each function does. For example, let's looky here. Messages looks like it would be important. Yeah, this describes the onMessage function that we just talked about. Called when a message is created and sent. There's also like onMessage edit, onMessage delete. If we look at what the message is, we can see this message has these attributes and these methods. So like, message.author would be important. Channel, perhaps. Content seems like it would be important. And yeah, they are. So cool. Let's see. Let's look at another one. Reactions. Interesting. On reaction ad. That looks like an interesting one. Maybe that's what they use for reaction roles. You get the user and then give them a role. Okay. Like, say I did want to give users roles when they leave a reaction or send a message. I'll just search role. Discord.role looks like the role class, like types of roles, but that might not be what we want. Missing any role? Role update. Create role, get role. Oh, discord.member.add roles. Maybe it's this. Add roles, give a member a number of roles. Yeah, so you can use the documentation to do all sorts of things, and it's very useful if you have an idea and you want to search up how to do it in your code. Now let's go into some real code. I will be going through one of my Discord bots, one that I created when I started making Discord bots, so the code won't be great, but it works. So let's check this out. Okay, I'll compare this to the example we saw earlier. I've split this up into multiple files. So we've got the imports, import logging. I'm pretty sure this is required for some functions in discord.py. From client will be this file. Client is the file where I have the code that we saw earlier in the demo. So we'll look at that. Slash commands is for slash commands, which I'll explain later. And these are not used right now. We set the logging. Client equals client, which will be the discord.client, like the main class we saw earlier. Oops. Slash commands.init. This will initialize slash commands, and I'll talk about that later. And I have with open token.txt. We get the token out of the token.txt txt file. I have that in its own file so that you don't see my token, because each bot has its own token, and if you had my token, you could control my bot, which would not be good. So you want to keep that secret. Then client.run token, which we saw at the end of the demo file. Let's now try to run this. And while I go through my code, I'll show you how it works in Discord. So let's pull it up. My Discord bot's name is Fag. I've not talked to this since I am on my alt account. My main account is Melumi, and you'll find me on the KTHack server, of course. So currently the bot is off. Bots only run when you yourself are running the code. Discord has nothing to do with that. You have to host your own code, whether on your computer or on your server, server you rent, anything like that. So I'll run my main.py file. Okay, we have a slash commands initialize bot online. Now you can see my bot is online. I have it set to playing a game. All right, let's go through my client.py command. We'll see a lot of similar things to the demo earlier. We've got import discord, class client, discord.client. Okay, I've got my global variable up here. This is for my Discord ID of Melumi. I had that for testing. So like if it would detect my user typing something, I could use that to test so that not everyone would trigger that functionality. Yeah, we've got onReady, runs once when I run the bot for the first time. It sets activity equals discord.activity, type playing to the moon. So that explains the playing to the moon. If you want your bot to have a custom status, you can go over here, like search, what was it? Status? Client status? Or was it activity? I think it was activity. Client.activity, I think that was it. So it's a property. So you set the activity, and the types are activity. Oh no, it should be user settable activity is client.changePresence. It takes an activity and a status. So look at activity, details, name, application ID, we don't need that. The name of the activity, I think that is it, and the type of activity. So looking at my code, you'll see activity equals discord, change presence was that function we saw to change the activity, and it'll be type activity type dot playing and name to the moon. Yeah, so you can find all of this in the documentation. Print bot online, we saw down here. It just prints to the terminal, so people don't see it on Discord. Okay, now on message, the other half of what we saw earlier. So we've got the on message function. First, we've got to check to see if the author of the message is self.user, and this is the bot. So we don't want the bot to respond to itself, because then it would go in an infinite loop of responding to itself. That would be very bad. I've got a variable called message lower equals message.content.lower. This gets the lowercase text in any message that's sent that the bot can see. And this is useful so that, if words are capitalized or not capitalized, we can still be able to respond to commands. So if message lower dot starts with exclamation point, a lot of bots used to have commands that started with an exclamation point, and this is how you do it in code. And after that, you can check if message lower is equal to command sweat, then await message.channel.send. So message is the sent message, and if it starts with bang sweat, then we'll go to the messages channel and send this image, which is a sweaty image. Let's test that. Sweat. Okay. And my bot responds with a sweaty guy image. Very cool. And you might be wondering why we don't just call this function .send. What is await? Well, that's a great question. Await is a way for Python to do asynchronous execution. Basically, it might take a while for Discord to send this message, because we rely on communicating with Discord, and that might take a while. So instead of just pausing and waiting for Discord to send it, asynchronous execution means our bot can do other things while waiting for this to happen. So like the rest of the code here won't, I think at least, it won't continue until this message has been sent, but the bot is free to do other things while that is occurring, like respond to other people. At least that's what I think it does. I may be wrong. Okay. Else if message lower equals command help. So this is pretty cool. We've got a discord.embed. You'll see what that is in a moment. Command help. It sends this cool looking text box. Hi, my name is Feg, coded by Melumi, source code on GitHub, and here's a list of commands. Bang help /roll /download video, and command sweat, which we saw earlier. I'll show you these later. It's very cool. Yeah, so there's some things that can only be done by bots. Bots can send embeds, like this one, where you set the text inside and the color of the stripe. Very cool. There's a lot of other types of things you can send, which I'll show later, but slash commands, when you type slash, the commands will show up. I'll show you that later. You can have buttons, forms, and some more stuff, which I will show later. Cool. Now let's go back to these. I also have a funny thing, not in commands, but on the same level. So this doesn't rely on the message starting with a command. I have this as a joke. If parm in message lower, send this image. So what this means that if I have, the word parm anywhere in the message, even if, it's uppercase, like, oh, this doesn't look like parm, when I send it, it knows, and it sends this Parmesan cheese image. This was an inside joke with my friends, but it's fun to see. Okay, this is the old style of Discord bots. You send a message in chat, and the bot responds. But what Discord has been moving towards is what's called slash commands. These are commands you can use by typing slash. So here I've got 3 slash commands in Feg. One is roll /roll D. Dice roll command up to 999,999,999. If I hit this, roll a D-sided die. So say 20-sided die. It'll roll D20, give me an 8. And this goes really high. Yeah, it gave me, what is that? 7,786,338. And I'll show you how this works in a sec. Woohoo. Okay, slash commands. Oh yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in chat or ask. Yeah, I can go into a bit of detail on the history of slash commands. I'm not actually using discord.py for my slash commands. I'm using something called discord slash. I think on GitHub it's like discord py slash commands or something that someone else made. Because all Discord API wrappers are maintained by volunteers, including discord.py. And I'm pretty sure discord.py was only maintained by one person. So it took a long time for stuff like this to come to discord.py. I think like the guy retired and then came back or something. I'm pretty sure that's a big part of why discord.js is more popular than discord.py. Basically, when I created this bot, discord.py didn't have slash command, so I used this Python library instead. I think discord.py has slash commands now, and I think it's very similar to this. But there are a bunch of libraries that let you do this, and it's important. Cool. Yeah, that's the history behind this. So let's look at the role first. We've got, okay, we'll talk about that later. Import random. Roll a description dice roll command up to 999 million. And you can see that here. /roll dice roll command. And it's got one option, name D, like D20. Description, roll a D-sided die. It requires an integer. So if you type something else, it will not work. And it's required. So if I try to enter, this option is required. And it must input a valid integer. And so that's very cool. Yeah, and let's roll a D-sided die. A 0. Yeah, and I have some code checking. So this is description and options. It's how we create it. Name is role. And then the role function. And async means that the function is asynchronous and you need it if you have awaits. This uses CTX instead of the instead of the message parameter. So it's a bit different, and the documentation is again online. Yeah, so we use ctx.send, and it will do like a reaction or like a follow-up thing. So yeah, I have the checking to see if the number is valid, and if it's not, we send this string. If it is, we roll D, whatever the number is, 20. We put in a string random.randint 1 to D. So it gives you a random int between these two numbers. Now the next function I think is really cool. One of the other functions I have in this Discord bot is downloading YouTube videos. Have you ever wanted to download a YouTube video, either the video or the music, and you go on, you search it up, find a sketchy website, and it's got like a bajillion ads, and then it doesn't work? Well, you can use my Discord bot to skip all of that. So let's give it a test. Let's go on YouTube, find a video. This doesn't just work on youtube.com, by the way. It works on, well, YouTube Music, a lot of other websites like SoundCloud, I believe, on Bandcamp. That's all I use it for, but I'm sure it works on others. Let's find a video, explore trending. I'll just find a random video. It should work on anyone. Actually, maybe I'll go like for Never Gonna Give You Up. Classic video. And when you click into it, it will give you an ad, and that's not what we want. So let's go to my bot. We've got download audio and download a video. Let's try video first. Give it the link. Feg is thinking, and it responds with this, and you'll see it actually embeds in Discord. This is cool. No ads, and you can download this. I maybe can't. If you click the link, you are able to download this, and that's what I wanted to do with this command. And let's test the download music command. Download audio, source, so the same video, gets you this link, a very, very long link. Audio. It is Never Gonna Give You Up. And you can download, and gives you a .webm file. Now this may not be what you want, but you know, it is working. And if you want to change that, you can convert it on your own. The library that makes all of this possible is something called YouTube DLP. If you look it up, YouTube-DLP. Command line audio/video downloader. So this does work on the command line. And that's actually what I use to download YouTube videos when I need to watch them offline. And it is an amazing tool. On the command line, you can specify download options. It'll download it directly to your computer. You can ask for specific file types, qualities like 1080p. You know, you can specify the file name, of course, everything you can do on the command line. And why I thought of using this was because the YouTube DLP, it's actually written in Python. You can see in languages, 99.9% Python. And it'll be in here somewhere. So the way you install it is pip install, same as Discord PY. Let's see, where's install? Pip, it is there. It is there, believe me. Yeah, so, but that also means you can import it in in Python. So that's what I have. I looked up some code to find out how this works. Maybe logging was for this, because this sometimes will throw errors when you have invalid links whenever it feels like it, and I have to catch all of those errors so that the bot can keep running and display a helpful error to the user. Like if I do fake link, download error, generic, this is not a valid URL. And this is not what is outputted. I had to do a lot of stuff to get it to display like that. Basically just string operations. Anyways, we have the YouTube DLP options, format best audio for download audio, preferred MP3, but sometimes it doesn't have that in quality. So here's the download video command function. Ooh, where'd it go? Okay. Description, download a video, option, source, which is the link to the video, requires a string. Cool. And here's the actual function. I set a default error, defer response to avoid timeout. Yeah, the bot thinks for a long time, and if I'm running this on a slow server, the bot might actually time out, and on Discord you'll see, oh, the bot failed to respond. When it is responding and it just takes a while, so that's what this does. We import YouTube DLP.YouTubeDL as YDL. Extract info from the source, which is the input string. We don't want to download it. By default, it'll download it to the computer where you're running the bot on the server, and we don't want that because it would put too much strain on my computer. So I just have it send the link. Basically, when you watch a YouTube video or video audio file elsewhere, the video file or the audio file is stored on the website. So that is the link. And when YouTube plays the video, it gets the video from this link and shows it to you, but it's really hard to find. And YouTube DLP is a function basically that finds that link. Sometimes it runs operations on top of that, but it'll find the link where the actual video is hosted, not youtube.com. It's actually like r3 -- sn a bunch of things.com, .googlevideo.com. And it'll show you that, and then that's the direct link to the video where you can download it. What YouTube does is it like streams pieces of the video, puts them together on your computer, so it's like, this is very, very nice to have. Okay, we extract the video into R, we find this URL, we look for the format, in this we want a video, so get the URLs with video and audio, find the highest quality is the last one, so we index into the last one. If we have an exception, if it only has audio, we try sending just the audio. Otherwise, I'm not printing it to the console because that would be too much. We ctx.send exception.name error, which is like standard Python stuff. Download audio is very much the same. And then at the bottom, we have some stuff for initializing the slash commands, command list, and then for each, oh, yeah, we've got global slash, which is the slash commands handler, I believe, and calls client sync commands equals true to sync the commands with Discord. And then for in commands, so for the list of functions in this list, we run the function to initialize the slash command. And then we print slash commands initialized, which is what you see here. That is how all of this works. Phew. Yeah. I think it's a very cool bot, and there's lots of ways to troll people. It's one of the things you can do. I have another bot actually, which when someone says the word sus anywhere, like even if we have a bunch of stuff, sus, like Jesus, or whatever, suspension, it's a funny thing. So whenever it just detects a sus, it'll upload a audio file with the Among Us music, like one of the meme tracks, which is very funny. It like pops up in the most random places. And you can do that too by looking for, I mean, I would just like search it up. I'm 100% sure someone has asked it on Stack Overflow or Reddit. Like, oh, how do you upload audio files to Discord from a bot? And then you just have the audio file on your computer and upload it every time someone says sauce, and it's like very funny. I have one other like big bot, which is a arena bot. I made this for my friends on Discord back in the day. We had a server where we would do basically role play battles similar to D&D, where we would take turns rolling dice, doing damage to each other, and we had this long as heck list of rules, such as like, oh, if you get 2 numbers in a row, you get this bonus. If you get 3 of the same number in a row, you do this much extra damage. If you get a lucky number, you do this much, you heal, whatever. Or like, it's a lot of rules. And in long battles, we would sometimes even like do the math wrong. Like, oh, this guy has 79 health, and we do like 21 damage. And then we would just like do it wrong, keep going, and then someone finds out, and then we'd have to redo or skip. And that was very annoying. So I created this Discord bot to help me. I'll show you basically what it looks like. You start it with /fight with a target, which is another user. Instead of, like slash commands can take text, integers, and stuff as inputs, but you can also take like users. So Melumi used /fight with @gancow. So the bot will respond. Melumi challenges gancow to a battle. First person to lose all their health loses. Lucky numbers. And then guy types roll. Does damage, etc. And there was a cool feature that's not on here, which I implemented later. Ooh, what is this? So I would /fight, and then it would ask me to choose my fight type. And I implemented this cool drop-down menu. And then when you click one, if you're the person who started the fight, then it'll respond to you and say like stats will not be tracked for casual fight. There you can also do, there's like drop downs, buttons, selections, a bunch of stuff that you can find. My code is in github.com/Melumi 11/ArenaBot. Fairly certain it's in there, but not 100% sure. Yeah, this is just another example of something you could do with your own Discord bot, and that is very cool. That is all I have for my presentation. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? I will send out all of the links that I've shown. No questions since no one is actually in my meeting. But here is my notes with my script for everything I talked about in here. Here's a QR code, and if you have any questions, you can find me in the KTHack Discord server. My username is melumi, and my nickname on the server is Roy Huang. There I am. Find me in the KTHack server for questions. DM me, ping me. If you want to collaborate, I'm open to it. Here are the links. Here is this document, and yeah, have a great day since no one has any questions. Thank you.